Now, finally, man of the hour, Drake Maye. We got to talk about him. We talked about the Browns offense. We also talked about a little bit of the Packers offense with Aaron Rodgers. So from what you saw in watching Drake Maye, how well do you think he's going to fit in this Browns / possibly Packers adjacent offense?
I think he's going to fit well. I think like we talked about earlier, like that pylon sale concept, the ability to push the ball further downfield with accuracy is something that jumped out to me when studying Drake Maye. And that's, if you're going to run a play action heavy offense like that, like those shots, you need quarterbacks that are, number one, are willing to take them. Number two, can make them with accurate throws. And Drake Maye has that. So I think that can really lift the ceiling, for the Patriots offense early. And then his ability to process also jumped out to me. So like, we talked about the drop back game kind of lacking, with the 21 Browns. I think, Van Pelt and the coaching staff will feel better about, installing and using or calling different drop back concepts on early down situations if, they know Drake Maye is going to hit the check down early, instead of taking a sack or forcing the ball somewhere where it shouldn't go, or, just living to take those like little positive gains, right? Staying ahead of the chains. Like that gives the coaches the confidence to call that part of their call sheet on early down situations instead of just saving it for like 3rd and 6 type deal.
I love that you mentioned processing, because I felt like coming out of college, that wasn't talked about enough with Drake Maye, a guy who's 21 years old, only started 2 years in college. And some of the reads he's making, how quickly he did it, the fact that a lot of his shots aren't really taking crazy risks. It's just him naturally attacking leverage or scheme advantages based on where the openings are and not really throwing blindly into coverage. And it's still very early, but we even saw glimpses of that yesterday in the quick game and in the short passing game, where he's attacking and throwing into blitzes, or he's moving defenders and also getting through his reads really quickly to get to his checkdowns, not just hold on to the ball like you see a lot with young quarterbacks. Again, super early, but the signs are there. Again, love that you touch on processing. Bobby, this was a blast, man. Thank you so much for joining us. Please let the people know where they can find you and what great stuff you got coming down the pipeline that people should be looking out for.
Get in on the excitement with Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app, where you can turn your hoops knowledge into serious cash. Download the app today and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy.
So I'm most active on Twitter or X. My handle is @B_Peters12. I've written, like we were talking about, I don't even know how many at this point, countless books breaking down NFL schemes. I try to do, 3 to 4 every year. This year I'm shooting fingers crossed for 6 before the end of July here. So we'll see if I meet that deadline there. But yeah, so these books I self-publish. They're available on Amazon. If you're interested in bundling them, though, send me a DM on Twitter, because I can offer a bundle deal to save you some cash on that side of it. And then also I started a Substack, and you can find that at alertthepost.com. So I just finished up a Baltimore Ravens complete offensive manual that went live probably almost 2 months ago now, and I'll be finishing up a Houston Texans one that should be going live early next week. And then I will leave the 6th team that I am breaking down a mystery for now. So.
I like that. Real quick, actually, I'm curious. When you were studying the Ravens, what surprised you? Because I know conceptually they were doing some real different stuff last season than what we saw from them in previous seasons with Lamar Jackson.
The run game. So in the run game, they ran counter and inside zone variations specifically out of 12 personnel, like 2 tight end, like 1 tight end on each side. The different ways that they got to those concepts within that and the different RPOs they ran stood out to me. The way they game planned them and installed them and taught them were top notch. And then in the pass game, I think I tweeted this out months ago, but it like the sentence really just stuck with me. Their pass game was complicated enough. So like it had enough answers, but it was kind of that middle ground between, I know you talked about that 2017 Patriots book I ran, Patriots book that I wrote. That's kind of like the holy Bible of the drop back pass game, right? Like every receiver's got 2 or 3 different options. Like it's just the most complex thing you can find in the NFL at that time, and probably still now, versus the Cleveland Browns, which was kind of the lower end of that spectrum, where it's a lot of like the basic West Coast early install stuff that you see at all levels. I think they did it. Todd Monken and that staff did a good job of like striking that middle ground of, okay, we're still going to run some stuff that gives Lamar answers, but we're not going to put too much on his shoulders where he's playing slow, because like with a quarterback like Lamar Jackson, you want him playing fast mentally, right? Like you don't want him playing slow either way, because when he can make quick, decisive decisions, I mean, he's one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL. So understanding that when you're creating an offense to build around him is something that I noticed when studying them as well. And one of my favorite concepts that they ran was I know Julian Edelman ran it for years in New England. It's kind of like that Seattle routes. Like they sell that deep cross, and then they bend it back out. So I call that like Seattle, or it's a version of a sail concept. And I want to say the Ravens in the couple different versions they ran of it averaged over 18 yards per attempt when calling that. It was a super explosive play for them.
Was that Zay Flowers running it most of the time, or they switch it up?
Zay Flowers, Bateman might have ran it a couple of times, but yeah, a lot of times it was Zay Flowers. It was the tight end a lot too, like Andrews before he got hurt, and then Likely ran it a bunch as well. So yeah, they kind of spread the wealth on that one.
I could have turned this into a Raven show, man. I'm so excited to dig into that book. Once again, Bobby, thank you so much for your time, buddy. And thank you all, as always, for watching. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. We will see you next time.
Take the guesswork out of buying NBA tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. Make sure to subscribe to Patriots Press Pass for all your Patriots news and updates on YouTube. And for all our written work, make sure you check out clnsmedia.com.